Bruce a lot longer than I have. Sorry.
Oh, you can get through this.
I met Bruce earlier this year when he started coming to, well, when I started working at our office, oncology hematology specialist. And I tell you, this man walked in his purple garb and this smile on his face.
Yeah.
And I will never forget just going over, introducing myself, saying, you know, hi, I'm Jeannine, I'm new here. And he just welcomed me. But seeing his smile, seeing his fight was amazing. I tell patients all the time, I say, you know, when you're going through this, you're allowed to have your rough times. You're allowed to sit there, you're allowed to cry, get angry, scream, whatever you gotta do. I said, but don't live there. And Bruce taught me that. He, every day, has a smile on his face, gets up and goes to the gym. This man, like, unbelievable. I tell people all the time, I'm like, you just can't stop. Like, there's people that just keep fighting, and he fights all the time. And I love seeing that in the office. I love his aura. I love when he comes in, and I've said to patients, there's someone you need to talk to. Because he shows people that you don't just give up. You don't just sit there and you don't let cancer take over. And that's a word nobody ever wants to hear. But he heard it, and he kept fighting. He never stopped. And every day when I wake up, it's a blessing to have one more day with my family, one more day with my patients, one more day to just be here. And my patients have taught me that. Because we take for granted everything that we have. When we're quote unquote healthy, we take for granted everything that we have. And then I've come across some wonderful people who have taught me that, you know what, I've gotten that stage 4 cancer diagnosis, is stage 1. My sister is a survivor of breast cancer. And I sit there and I go, you know what, I thought my day was bad. But these people heard this and they just kept moving forward. And I hope you guys can just take a second in your mind and just be grateful for everything you have. But be grateful to spend another day with Bruce. And Dylan, who I've heard everything about since I walked in today. And when they told me about Dylan, it got me so choked up.
Yes.
Because, you know what, he's fighting another fight. Everybody that you come across every day is going through something. Just take a moment to smile. Even if you're having a bad day, take a moment to smile. The girl at my gym told me, you always smile when you come in here. I get there at 5:30 in the morning. I said, I'm not a morning person. I said, but I work in an oncology office, and that's why I smile every day. My patients make me feel better. And that sounds so funny. You meet people, strangers, and you become part of their family. You learn about them. Bruce and Linda have become part of my life. You know, seeing patients on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, a daily basis sometimes, and they just all become part of you. And my son and I, we pray every night for all my patients, for all the people that I've come across, and the people that make us, you know, just realize we got to keep fighting. You know, and I mean, I've had my own share of struggles, and yet I think about other people, and I'm like, you know what, that's what's important. You know, in cancer, you don't have to hear that word and just say, this is it, I'm just going to lay down and that's it, it's over. Because Bruce is a true example that you don't do that. When he told me he was doing leaves in his son-in-law's yard, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And then when I saw the pictures, I was like, that's amazing. So everybody just think about yourselves, think about where you're at, and just be grateful. You know, it's the world we live in. Unfortunately, there's a lot of negative, but just be grateful for what you have, and grateful that you have another day to spend with your family, another day to spend with Bruce, another day to meet new people, and put a smile on somebody's face, because that's what's important. You never know what people are going through. They don't have to tell you. They don't have to wear all purple like Bruce does. But just smile, just be nice, and you could make someone's day. Every day that I see Bruce, his smile makes my day. He comes in, and even when he wasn't getting into trials, even when he was having these difficulties of finding someplace to take him on, he still smiled about it. He didn't say, oh, well, you know, we're stuck here. He loved coming to our office. We love seeing him. But you know what? At the same time, you knew, you just keep praying, you have that hope, and something would happen, and that's what happened to him on Friday. So, Bruce, I'm going to miss you, but I'm not going to not see you.
No, I'll be seeing you there.
You'll still have to
But I like to say one thing, what it means me to go to the cancer center is all these great nurses. Because we all know, you get an operation. What's the most important thing? You want to have the best nurse there for you. And these young ladies, You know, it's happened to me since 2016, my first time going for my treatments and all like that. I mean, I felt comfortable, even though we're scared, you know, about the chemo or radiation. But what makes it worth everything to me is the nurses and everybody there. You know, like family. That's how I felt until 2016 and right up until about a month ago, going back and forth and for treatments. You know, I knew I was in good hands because I had, you know, the nurses and everyone else. But there's another thing I really like to talk about, and Jeannine, sorry, told me about this lady here. I was there for chemo. She was dealing with breast cancer, and she came to me. She said, would you like to go down and talk to her? I said, where is she? So I went down there. We talked about 45 minutes or so, and I just gave her hope. I said, you know, I'm dealing with stage 4. I beat stage 3. I said, if you put your mind to it, there's nothing that you can't beat. So that was I love the most, is just to help somebody. You know, that's the most important thing in my life. And so, you know, I really appreciate all these great nurses. And thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.